Okay.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. We have a beautiful guest here today.
We do have a beautiful guest here today.
And don't get it twisted. You still look amazing in your gym clothes and no makeup, okay?
That's
Thank
how we
you.
roll
You're
anyway. Have you ever seen like our social media posts, like when we launch a podcast or when we like put one out there?
Yeah.
We're almost always in.
But not
like,
I
yoga
saw
pants.
today I posted the last episode because I was so busy this week. I posted the episode and we look flawless because I used our
Oh, I saw that. I love that picture.
I know, we look so good.
great. Well, I love it because we look like we're just having the time of our lives.
Like
and
we are.
But when we were recording it, it was so scripted because we're like, okay, smile.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
talk, like walk and talk and act like you're having a great time.
Taking those photos. Oh
Not
my
even
gosh.
kidding.
And we were so like, we'll obviously do it again because we need some more pictures. But like, oh my gosh, when we were taking those photos, there were so many bad ones because they were like,
There was a lot of
just
bad
be
ones.
candid, like just be funny. No,
Like, I don't know-
you have to
I don't
pose.
know how to do
You
that.
have
It's
to
hard.
stop. Yes, it's so
It's hard.
hard.
Yeah.
And
Being a
she's so
model
good
is
at
hard.
it.
I'm not
You're
a
so
model,
good.
but I don't know how they do it.
Whatever, you're like
When
an
you go out and do
instant
photo shoots, I know what you
No.
mean. There's like 100 photos and you only like 2.
Seriously.
So it's gonna
Well, you
take a
know the
while.
ones where we were on the
Forever.
staircase and we were like posing and acting like models?
Yeah.
Those are the worst.
I know.
Like we didn't use any of those because
Isn't
they were
that
so bad.
Ironic. Yeah.
It was funny.
So our beautiful guest here is Mary Robb, aka
Hello, Mary.
the
Hello.
Candid Millennial from
Yes.
Instagram, and that's how I met her. I started following her on Instagram, and I was like, "Hey, will you come on our podcast?" And she was like, "Yeah." And now we're best friends.
Is that your social media name, the Candid Millennial?
It is.
That's
Yes.
great.
I have a blog.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
old are you?
I'm 27.
27.
For 3 more days.
For 3 more days.
And I'm owning it.
Ooh, are you a Capricorn?
No, I'm an Aquarius actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have a hard time making decisions?
No.
Ah, that's what I
Which
find
is
with
funny.
most Aquarius people.
Really?
Mostly men. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just having that conversation with my fiance because he has a hard time making decisions.
And you're like, babe, just make a
I
decision.
know. He's like, well, I don't know where I want to go for my bachelor party. And he already booked Austin. He's like, well, what if I want to go to Vegas? I was like, just go to Austin and own it. You're going to love it.
When are you getting married?
In May 23rd.
Okay.
It's so exciting.
that's a lot of
look at her
fun.
engagement ring.
Let me see.
My God. I creeped on
no,
her
you
often.
need to like turn that back
with
right
the ring.
side up.
Yeah.
She's like, here it is.
I know,
Here
dude.
it is.
I know.
That's pretty legit.
I think it was maybe like
Thanks.
your engagement photos or something. I was like, holy crap, that ring is gorgeous. But yes. So you're
Just
engaged. You're 27 for 3 more days.
Mm-hmm.
So then you'll be 28.
Yes.
And you are running a company.
Yes.
So you're a boss babe.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes, totes.
And is your business like your office here in Dallas?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yep.
the company is based here in Dallas.
Yeah.
And what do you guys do?
We're a social media agency.
Okay.
So we help businesses grow their social media presence, and we have a team of women that support businesses.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's your background and how did you get to where you are? Also, what's the company name?
It's called Social Practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I majored in PR and advertising, and I went right into working in the advertising world. I worked in 3 different agencies, and I've also worked in marketing, and I saw a gap in the market for social media services.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create my own spin on it, and I did, and we launched last year. So,
So awesome.
And business
Yeah.
is good?
business is really good.
That's
We're
awesome.
growing, and I mean, I could still consider it's very much a startup. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
chaos, a lot
Yeah.
of lessons to be learned, but I love it. And I was working in sales in a startup for 2 years before I quit, so I
Interesting.
learned a lot.
Yes.
So-
About startups, about what that looks like, about how like what is the word I'm looking for? How unrefined it is, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Because
Yep.
you have to like make stuff up as you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no processes. There's no formal way to do anything. So
Yeah.
you just have to roll with it and just
You're like, there's no handbook.
go.
I just gotta
Exactly.
wing it. Like
Exactly.
So biggest challenge. I mean, I think there's so many people who they have that entrepreneurial spirit, but just stepping away and actually becoming an entrepreneur without the ready-made paycheck on the 1st and the 15th.
Right.
That's hard. That's hard for a lot of people, especially
Yeah.
those that have like, all the obligations. What
Yeah.
was the biggest challenge stepping away?
Gosh, it's really the mental strength it takes, and just owning and having confidence in what you're doing. There's no leadership, there's no boss, there's no team to back you up anymore. you're on your own and you have to create your own team over time, but you can't, like, you know, it's just me in the very beginning. I'm slowly building a team now. So I mean, just actually doing it and not losing your stuff every day.
Is there anything you do different now that you've got a year behind you?
Well, like 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could go back and do it all over again, like, is there anything you would do differently now that you've kind of been there, done that for a few months?
No.
Okay, that's
I'm
good
not
to
the
know.
kind of person that, honestly, I don't think that way.
Yeah.
I think everything has to happen the way that it does. And so, no, I mean, I just know, like, with business, you just have to do it and you just got to figure it out. And there's no one that can really tell you. There's no blueprint. And I was listening to Barbara Corcoran's podcast, and she's like, people think that you can just go and get all the answers to how to run your company, and that's just not how it works. There's no one way to do something. You just got to pave your own way and make your own blueprint and figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I see things. I mean,
love that.
And so you were working sales in a startup. So what was the turning point where you're like, I can do this on my own?
Well, so my whole career path, my goal was to get experience in all the different parts of an agency. So I was working in account management and client service for a while. And then I worked inside of a marketing team. And I've always worked for small companies. So when you work for a smaller business with 50 or less employees, you really see things a lot more clearly, and you have a lot more responsibility. So I was lucky in that sense. And my last thing that I wanted to learn was how to do sales. And I was always afraid of it 'cause, you know,
It's intimidating.
From a stereotypical perspective, I'm like, I'm not an aggressive. Like, if someone doesn't want something, I'm not gonna
push it on
harass
them or
them
force them.
Yeah, and so I was always nervous about sales, but I knew I had to do it to really figure out if I can do this entrepreneur thing. Because if you can't sell your business or your product, you can't do anything.
Without sales, there's nothing.
So that's when this opportunity came. I got this opportunity when I was in client service at a different agency, and they were like, hey, we're looking for outside sales for this software marketing startup. And I was like, well, might as well. And then the potential of income was huge, and I've always wanted to just try and push and see how far I can go income wise. So I did it, and then I learned how to do the sales aspect, and from there it was like, you know, I had all the pieces in place. And then my fiance is also a business owner, so I've learned a lot from him on terms of just like the boring stuff, like lawyers, contracts, taxes, all that kind of stuff.
That's what I was gonna ask next too.
Boring but necessary.
Super necessary. That's the thing too, is like, that's the one thing that you don't think about, and that's the one thing that people don't see is the behind the scenes stuff.
And
like,
it's a lot.
Like, you know, even from the outside looking in, like, I see, you know, your Candid Millenial Instagram, and you're posting about like skincare routines and outfits and stuff like that. Like, nobody's even taking into consideration that, like, you're meeting with attorneys. You have to find the proper accounting software for sending out invoices for clients, and like all of those things. Like, how did you go about, outside of maybe your fiance, how did you go about like learning all of the things that you had to do? Like, because, you know, from a sales perspective, I sell staffing, and also you can say whatever you want on this podcast. You can say bad words if you want.
Okay. I was like, I don't know.
Okay, like, I don't know if I should say shit or stuff.
Okay. I know.
That's funny.
Okay, well.
Yeah, but like, so for me, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I can just go to Microsoft Word and get a copy of our standard contract, standard agreement, put you know, the proper names and dates and whatever in there, and then I just send that off to a client. But that's not my responsibility nor my liability, because it's not my company. Like, how do you just like rely on Google?
Well, yes and no. So when I first started realizing, like, okay, I think I'm finally ready to do this, because I started a company 3 years ago that just, I didn't really like, you know, flesh it out. I had a few clients and then just was like, whatever with it. So I wasn't quite ready. But when I started to realize, I'm ready to do this. Last year, I started going to more like women's entrepreneurial events and conferences. So I went to the Fearless Conference with Dallas Girl Gang.
Okay.
I go to some of their seminars. I love Amanda and that group. I think that they provide so many resources.
It's a really good group.
That's how I know about like Courtney Baker and all that. So there's a couple of other things that I was doing, just going out and networking with other women. One woman that really inspired me was like Rachel with Rent My Wardrobe. I met with her a few times because she was really like wanting to network with bloggers, and I also do the blog thing. So We talked a lot. So I started surrounding myself with just like-minded people. And then, I mean, there's a different story for everything that I've figured out, but like my attorney I met through Dallas Girl Gang. My bookkeeping, I signed up for bookkeeping. I use Bench through an Instagram ad. It's just amazing. They just do it all for you, and I don't have time to sit there and
think about it. Yeah,
that's
around
nice.
QuickBooks all day. Honestly, I'd rather just outsource that so I can focus on growing the business.
For sure.
And so software like that, I kind of figured out on my own, and then, working with all these different agencies, I figured out what softwares work better than others.
And so you already kind of have that idea going into it.
Yeah.
So, how did you get your first client?
So I sent out. Emails to just a couple of different business owners that I knew. I sent 10 emails out, and I was saying, hey, I'm going to start this company. We're looking for clients. I'll give it to you for basically half off, and we're just going to do a trial run and see if this is something that's really going to benefit your business. And I had 3 different ones respond immediately and say, we really need this. And part of the thing with my company was I knew that there was a huge demand for this type of product and service because I was in the industry
already.
And I was at shows all the time. I was traveling all across the country, and all of these clients that I was already working with are saying, we need this. We don't know how to get it. It was something I currently didn't offer at the company I was working at. And I had a creative way.
So you saw that gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's a demand for it. So I was kind of lucky in that sense. And then I reached out to a couple of people that I knew really well, and they were like, yes, let's do it. We want to sign up. So I call it a pilot. We piloted it for 3 months, and it worked out really well. And so I just ran with it from there.
Dude, what a gangster.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, you're not even 30 yet, and you're like, you have these,
experiences on your own company.
Yeah, and these big guts that it takes to just be like, yeah, I'm just going to try it, and I'm just going to reach out to these people that I know, and I'm just going to do it.
So do you actually create the content for the companies, or do you create more of the scheduling on what's going to hit social media based on the content they give you?
Yeah, so we create all the content and we do all the scheduling, but I have a team. So and I have an entrepreneurial mindset. I can do social media myself. I love social media, but I knew that going into it, if I was going to create a business and scale it, I have to have people that do it. So every client has 3 people that works on their account, and so they create the content. They do the photography and the videography. They do all the content writing, the hashtags. They also do all the posting and the engagement side, so engaging with the audiences on the different platforms. So our team does the bulk of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Are they all local? DFW?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
On purpose?
Yes.
Obviously, because I have to go there.
Yeah, exactly. And so right now we're local, exploring ways to scale it. Because social media, in my opinion, it is a manual process. You can't just, there's a lot of companies that do stock photos and they do fluff content, and it just does not convert. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, and I know that from blogging.
Yes.
So
it has to be organic and it has to feel authentic.
So define fluff content.
So, for example, let's say you're a plastic surgeon and you have a social media company working for you, and you have them posting stock images of a model, and, they're like, oh, we can give you a breast augmentation for $1,000 off. It's the stock photo. I mean, and I look at these profiles all day, every day. It's 2 likes, no engagement. So that's what I would consider fluff content, in that it's not even showing what that business is, who the practice is, who the patients are, what it looks like. So that's kind of what I see it as.
Yeah. And versus like them posting like, a stock photo or whatever, compared to like a picture of a before and after of a breast augmentation
of an actual client.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch. It's funny, that you say like plastic surgeon, because there's like 3 or 4 that I follow right now because of recommendations from friends, because I don't really care about plastic surgery, but but like a lot of other people do. And this one thing that it's funny, because I would have never considered, and this is like the targeted like marketing and advertising, right? Because like I would have never considered plastic surgery. I'm like, no, like I work out all the time, like it's not something that I'm interested in, like whatever. And then I see these mommy makeovers where they tie your abs together and it makes you look like you have abs, and then they do a tummy tuck, bro.
It's
these
crazy.
girls look amazing. And then like again, the side by side, like you see the before and afters,
Yeah.
and then that, because that's organic and authentic content versus a stock photo, now I'm interested.
Yeah.
Now I'm part of the conversation. Now I'm a prospective client.
Yeah.
Versus just posting a picture of some nice boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, no thanks. I'm
no,
good.
I'm good. Like I like my I like my mom boobs, like whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, so like that, I mean, it's awesome. So, and how long have you been doing the blog, which is the Candid Millennial, right?
A long time.
Yeah.
And I even sometimes feel embarrassed about it because I look at a lot of other bloggers that, you know, they've got hundreds and thousands of followers, but I've always
Like Amy Havens.
yeah.
I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many, but I've always careers first. So the people that follow the blog, I don't know if they realize like that is not, I spend a few hours a week on it. It's not my,
Right.
and there's a lot of people that think that that's my full-time thing, but it's not.
I
But
mean, I did.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is your blog about?
A lot of things.
It's like a lifestyle blog, right?
It's lifestyle, career, travel, fashion, beauty, just anything that I like. And I love a lot of things.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Yeah. Everything.
It's just about everything. And they say you're supposed to niche down, and I understand that, but I just...
That's what they tell us about the podcast.
I
too,
know.
but
We've had
can't.
so many people tell us to find a lane, and we're like,
I can't,
well, I
man.
kind of feel like we did.
I like
Yeah.
my lane.
Like, this is our lane.
I like my
Yes.
highway.
It's all over the place.
I
It's our lane.
know. It's fun. I don't know. I don't want to exclude anything. There's so
Exactly.
many fun things.
That's how I feel about the podcast, because it's like, as humans, we're so multifaceted. Like, there's so, you know, like, to go and take yourself through one single day. Like, what do? I wake up, I get ready, or I wake up, I work out, I get ready. So then you got like, what kind of workouts are you doing?
Yeah.
And then like, what kind of makeup are you doing?
Yeah.
How are you doing your hair? Like, how are you curling it? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're getting ready. So then you have fashion. Then you go to work. What are you doing for work? Like, everybody has so many different things going on. Like, how can you exclude a whole division of your life?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I can't. That's
You're
why
like, I can't.
I can't.
I don't want to.
I'm not able to.
I'm not going to.
But yeah, so you've been doing the blog for a long time.
Yeah, so since I graduated college, so when I was 22, because one of my mentors said, hey, if you want a job in PR, we have to see that you can write. So I used it just to write about all kinds of random stuff.
Yeah.
I think one of my first blogs was about that documentary Blackfish.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
very
interesting.
random, but
yeah.
I know what's that about?
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It made me sad because I used to love SeaWorld, and
I
now I'm
know.
like,
Anti-SeaWorld.
Close
Yeah.
SeaWorld.
But dude,
Shut
then you're like,
SeaWorld
where do I
down.
take my kids? Like,
Yeah.
I
kids
know,
love
like
it.
that's sad. We're gonna have
My
to go to the
daughter
I know.
won't even let me take her son to the zoo because she's so anti-zoo.
Chloe's going to the
Wow.
zoo today.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
I'll
She's
still
anti-zoo. Oh,
anti-zoo.
I love your
And like
kid.
even told me if I sneak and take him, she's like, I can't be Coco anymore.
Oh no.
She wasn't serious, but I mean, still.
You're like 25%
I'm like,
of her
I
was
love the
serious.
zoo.
They do a
You
lot of good
millennials.
research though to help the animals. I mean, so it's good to have.
Well,
There's
some people-
animals that are going to be extinct, and if they weren't in zoos, they probably wouldn't be around.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to
Is this
bring
your
them
case?
back.
Yeah.
Is this the
My
soapbox you're
case.
standing on?
Yeah.
So, with that too, you've been blogging for a while. Who are some people that you like maybe have learned some things from as far as blogging?
Oh gosh, a lot. Do y'all follow Jenna Kutcher?
Of course.
So she's got so many great tips. Okay.
I'm like, no.
Um,
I never know any of the names you children
It's okay.
throw out.
I'll write these down
I'm
as she says
officially
them.
old. I don't know anything.
I'll write them down as she says them because these are some pretty good people.
Okay, carry
Julie
on.
Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
Joy Solomon?
Julie Solomon.
Julie
She's got a
Solomon.
great one. It's all for influencers. Listen to her podcast because she has a lot of like tangible things you can do to grow your following. And I'm like, yes. I do follow a lot of fashion. I'm trying to think.
Do you like Courtney Kerr?
I love her.
I love her.
I love
Dude,
her
I met her.
beauty stuff.
I met her.
You did?
And I like totally fangirled out. So
you
I was
remind me of her actually.
Oh,
like I
thank
feel like
you.
yeah.
people tell me that we look like sisters.
Yeah. No, seriously.
So I'll show you the picture afterwards too, because it's funny. A lot of people have told me that, but I met her at the SMU Dallas 100. I was there for work.
Cool.
Her boyfriend Kyle
Uh-huh.
is his company, you know, because he owns the Rustic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So his company made the list for the Dallas 100. So I saw him and I was like stalking her. I was like, holy shit, Courtney Kerr is in the building, guys. And no, like
so funny.
all like professional people wouldn't know who she is.
Yeah.
But she's pretty big on like social media. Like I think she
Yeah.
has like 260,000 followers.
And when you guys say social media, is it
Instagram.
most of the time Instagram?
Instagram.
Yeah,
But
I'm
she
still
was
trying
also
to figure out how to use that.
but she also had a TV show on Bravo called Courtney Loves Dallas.
Oh.
So that's how I know her, is from her TV show. But anyway, she was
Bravo. Isn't that the one that has like the housewives and all
like
those
Vanderpump
crazy
Rules
shows that they yell at each other and
Yeah.
act crazy? All right.
The crap I used to watch before I had a kid. Yeah.
I still watch it.
I know. I'm so
bad.
jealous. I wish I could.
It gives me anxiety, but I love it.
It's so bad.
Why do I feel like I'm in a whole nother generation? Oh, wait.
I am. No, so she was there. She was there at the event, and her boyfriend was there, and I got to meet both of them, and I took a picture with her, and I was like, dude, I've been following you for years. Like, since she was, like, wearing her hair, like, with the straight part down the middle and, like, tucking it on the sides. Like, I've been following her forever, and she started as a blogger and would, like, go to New York, and I remember, like, her first trips to New York where she's like, I'm starting to make it. Like, they're starting to recognize me as a blogger now. And this is all she does now. She quit her job, lives in Dallas. She's a Dallas-based girl, Dallas-based blogger. And I remember, like, the growth progression that she, like, you know, took the chance to start and just blog full-time. And now that's all she does. She's a social media influencer. She's a blogger. She works for herself. She makes really good money. I mean, you can tell by the pairs of Louboutins she has, you know, like they slowly increase over time. So you know she's making enough money.
I mean, I feel like you have to be this super interesting person to be able to have a job that you blog about your life and that's all you do.
She's relatively boring, and like
nobody wants to know what I do in my life. But I really know this to be true.
I mean, yeah, maybe, but she, like, in the beginning, she would just talk about all the things that we wanted to hear about.
Yeah.
What do you want to hear?
Like skincare, makeup, clothes, where you're if you're going shopping and there's a discount somewhere, or how you styled that outfit, or like where those booties came from. Like it's just so relevant because so many people are like, oh my gosh, I love those, or oh my god, I hate those, I can't believe you're wearing that. Like the headband she's wearing lately, like I'm not a huge fan.
I can't
like,
pull off a headband. So
I can't either. So I'm just like, whatever.
It's very Gossip Girl, so.
Yeah, Leighton Meester, like, for sure. But yeah, like, you know, but having the ability to do that, and her boyfriend who owns the Rustic in Dallas and San Antonio and a couple of other restaurants, he's coming on our corporate podcast to talk about how he did that too. And he has, I think, more Instagram followers. He has 500,000. He has more than she does.
Is the Rustic off 75 like just north of downtown?
Yeah.
I know where that is.
It's like the music venue or whatever.
Oh, that's a great place, yeah.
They've got they're in multiple cities now too, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, obviously they're doing something right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but they do, both of them have a very large social presence. So it's sort of like, and for him, I think it's more of building like a FOMO. Like I'm posting pictures of, you know, what my venue is doing and who's there and all that stuff. So that brings physical people.
That's cool.
There.
What a great idea.
Yeah. Versus just like the Instagram following or whatever. But yeah, it's crazy because people are making businesses out of it, out of social media and blogging and all of that, which is like remarkable because who knew that was a possibility?
Yeah.
15 years ago. Like, not a lot of people.
Oh,
no.
It all started coming up the past 10 years, but it's kind of cool because it is kind of our generation, because when I was in college, that's when Pinterest and blogging actually became a thing. And there's so many, I just look up to women in general that, you know, go after their dreams and have businesses. And so
I feel like blogging was before that. Truthfully.
Yeah, there was some
I
before
think
that
it
too.
came well before like Pinterest and that kind of thing. Blogging was something even before you know, like Instagram and all of this stuff became such a phenomenon.
And Facebook,
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, the internet, and then it was like following blogs. But the beauty of Pinterest was like bringing more exposure and traffic to said blogs, because you could just post an image of an outfit, and then that's immediate clicks on your blog or on your website. So it's driving traffic towards your website, which is really cool. And that's good for like fashion or food or, you know, ideas or style, home, like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now it's TikTok. So Instagram's already.
TikTok needs to go away. It is so addictive.
Gary Vee says it's not
so
going to
addictive. It just rolls, and I will find. I'll lay down at night and I'll put my headphones in. And I deleted that damn app for a while.
Good.
And then I brought it back.
And then I came back.
Yeah, it's bad.
And
I
I'm
have
like,
a problem.
an hour will pass, and I'm like, I have my brain just melted for an entire hour. Like nothing fruitful just went in.
It's fun though. I'm like really excited. I want to start trying to make videos on TikTok. Like I'm still learning how to use it, but
me too.
It looks so fun. Like there's this girl that in a 15-second clip, she showed us 10 outfits. And it was so exciting because I loved all of them.
How do you chop them and then put like...
Oh, I can show you. Okay. So you literally, you can time it.
We need to put stuff on
fun.
TikTok.
We need to put stuff on
I'm telling
everywhere.
you, the dumbest videos, and then you look over, you can see, like, you know, right to the right, like how many likes or followers or whatever. It's always in the thousands, and I'm like, that was the dumbest video I've ever seen in my life, even though I watched it 4 times. But, you know, it's so funny. Like, they have thousands and thousands of followers. There's just these random, regular people doing random, stupid things.
I know. Okay, well, I have a confession.
Yes.
I was on TikTok last night.
Yeah.
And they had, like, that For You feed.
Yeah,
And they, like, send us videos.
Yeah.
There's a very attractive doctor that was on there.
Is this the doctor that was like, yes, I think I saw this.
I was like, where do these people come from? Like, and he's a real doctor, and he's just on TikTok,
just being a doctor.
Talking about, well, no, he's actually, if it's the one where he's in his office, and he has his white coat on, and he's talking about being, like, I'm a doctor, and he's like these little words that kind of pop up and kind of tell his story real fast.
This one's single, and he has a golden doodle, and he's
crazy.
in Chicago, and I'm like,
it's crazy.
I'm like, is this how we're dating online now on TikTok?
I think I had a dream about it.
Oh my God, there's this
know.
one guy, I think he thinks he's a cowboy, but I really don't think he is. And he's got to be like 45 years old-ish. And he always has his shirt like open and his like hairy chest showing. And he's always like, he just does these like seductive, what he thinks is seductive, like faces to the, and I'm like, you need to stop. And of course I have to go and look at all the comments because I'm like, please somebody tell him the truth. I'm like, I don't want to do it, but somebody needs to. And what do you think the comments say?
I don't know.
Oh my God, keep it up, big boy. Oh yeah, this is so great. And I'm like, this is bad. This is just all kinds of level of bad. Yeah,
well, there's like a really hot cop too. I don't know why they all pop up on my For You page. I must have
like I don't even know. It's just
it's just there.
Pick it up. I don't know. I'm not making them go away though. You know what I'm saying?
I know. It's just funny to me because I thought it was all kids, and these are like people. These are adults
all,
too.
Even like older people, like over 60 and 70. Yeah. You'll see them throw up their little videos too.
Oh my God, I love it.
And there's some people that are like physically disabled that put up fun little videos. And I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of cute.
I've seen that too.
That's
kind
of cute because they're getting some kind of like exposure, and they're like they're feeling positive because they're getting a lot of likes and a lot of people commenting positive things. Yeah. I'm sure those people are out there that are saying negative stuff too, but I mean, I think for them, it's probably their way of, you know, speaking to the world in a way.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how I feel about Instagram.
And it's
a creative outlet. I share my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you hold back a lot more now than you used to.
Oh, really?
A little bit, yeah.
I do.
Not in a bad way.
You're
just
right.
like, yeah. It's a little more guarded.
Yeah.
Used to be like
you
all
can
out
feel
there.
that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just it's just a different feel, but it's not a good or bad vibe. It's just different.
It is.
Yeah.
And by design.
Yeah.
I'm working on like balance.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that. Very cool.
I love it. I'm going to pick your brain about that later.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, so...
TikTok then. We got to get on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, we will.
And now's the time because I think
so
you can still go viral on it.
And the growth is like, the potential is there. Yeah. Gary Vee says it all the time.
Yeah. About like, TikTok?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's because it's the short little clips, one.
Here.
I grew up
and now you live in Dallas.
We live in Dallas.
How long have you lived in Dallas?
Since I got moved back from Lubbock. I went to Texas Tech, so 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
What school did you go to in Plano?
Well, I was at Robinson, and then we moved. My parents divorced when I was 14, so we moved to Colleyville for 4 years, and I went to high school at Grapevine.
Okay,
but I was on the west. I was like
Grapevine?
Jasper and West.
Yeah,
is what I was supposed to do. But
okay.
Grapevine.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I like it. It's so different. It's Fort Worth versus Dallas, basically.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's a little bit smaller. It's a different demographic, but I loved it, and it was good to have a change. I was an only child growing up, and so I was pretty shy. Yeah. So it forced me to
branch out, make new friends,
and just experience moving schools. So
interesting.
It was good.
Did you move with Did your mom move to?
Yeah, I moved with my mom. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I actually think it's a good thing for kids to change schools and get to know other people and be forced out of their shell and that safety net and to be forced into meeting people and talking to people. I went to different school probably every 3 years of my life.
Wow.
So it was like a big deal.
That's a good experience, though.
Well, looking back, it
Diversified.
really was. But I went to like 3 high schools, 2 middle schools.
Jesus.
Multiple elementary schools.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think that's why even though I'm introverted, I'm not shy at all.
At all.
And it's just because you can't be.
I know.
You're forced to get out there and meet people if you want to have somebody to talk to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So you're from here, went to school there. The reason why I ask is because I have to figure out like what I'm gonna do with Chloe, where we're gonna go, or where she's gonna go to school, and where I'm gonna live, and all that.
Does she start kindergarten this year?
She's already in kindergarten.
Oh, she's in kindergarten now.
Fun.
Yeah. But I have to
Public school or private school?
Public.
Okay.
Yeah, but I have to decide like what area I'm gonna live in because her dad lives in Fort Worth, and we're like, you know.
So is he driving her all the way over to where every morning?
Every morning.
Well, and that's a lot for her too. To be in the car for an hour before school even starts,
and on the way home.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So I have to make the right decision for my kid. But the reason why I asked about Grapevine is because he's in Fort Worth, so it's like a good middle ground. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I live in TC in the colony.
Yeah, but you can move. I mean, like you can live pretty much anywhere.
I know.
Yeah.
Wherever you want.
I know.
Nice to be that flexible.
I guess.
I'm stuck in
Are you saying you're considering somewhere in the middle?
Yeah,
so like
maybe
area,
somewhere in the middle or something. Yeah.
We are considering potentially moving to South Lake area when we do have kids because
I know
it's public
the
school.
burbs. Like you got to go to the burbs when you have kids.
I love that area.
Yeah.
I would totally move there again. And then Plano Frisco's.
I do love it, and they have the best Central Market ever. Literally,
never
best.
been there.
That is totally my driver for relocating.
Yeah.
I have to be near a Central Market. But no,
Exactly.
yeah. So you're from here. So you went to Texas Tech, and you worked in Dallas after college. How'd you meet your fiance?
We met online.
Shut up! You're giving me hope.
I always am convincing all my single friends, like, just get on an app, just try it.
It's so bad at first, though, dude.
I know. I think I either got lucky or I was on Hinge when it had very first come out, and
when it was
the
really
dating
good.
pool was really good.
Yeah.
But I also lived in Dallas. I lived like in the uptown area, so I feel like that has to do with it too.
Dallas proper.
Yeah, like where are the single people?
Oh, I'm always swiping when I'm at work because I work downtown. It's like way better pool than where I live.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a difference because one of my best friends was on it, and she lived in Grapevine, and I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's less.
You like drive to Dallas and then swipe.
Yes, or Fort Worth, because she's more of a Fort Worth girl, which is amazing. So now that she's down in Fort Worth, she's actually met someone on Hinge as well.
Perfect.
And they're hitting it off really well. But yeah, we met on an app.
That's awesome. How long ago?
Oh gosh, May of 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so almost 5 years
Almost
ago.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're getting married.
Now we're getting married.
Look at that, April.
Yeah.
It can happen.
We would have never met if it was not for the app, but
That's interesting.
yeah.
And you don't have any of like similar friends or anything?
We have one mutual friend.
Yeah.
And it was a guy that I dated before him that I met through the app.
Oh, funny.
Small world.
I liked him
love it.
too, but I liked John better, so it worked out.
Well, there you go. What are you going to do? Now we're getting married and we live together.
Where's your wedding?
It's going to be at the Jewel Hotel in Dallas.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's one of our favorite spots to just do like a little
They have like
staycation.
the best pool too.
They have a fun pool. They have a fun spa. They have fun restaurants.
Yeah.
It's a boutique hotel. It's not corporate or anything.
Right.
So it's fun to go even just
And
visit.
in May? Where's everybody going to park?
Valet.
All right.
Yep.
At least we got that figured out.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. Because isn't it on Main Street?
Yep.
Yeah, I run past it like at lunch when I run at lunch.
Fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because I work
you go
in
running
the,
downtown?
Yeah, I work in the Bank of America Tower.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so I'm always like running past that.
That's a neat tower.
It is cool.
That's a cool area.
It's really tall.
Yeah, I think I've been to the top of it for something. I forget what.
Yeah.
I think an event or something, but yeah, it was a little scary.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. We're 4 months away. So our planner, we met with her last weekend for 3 hours, and we have a lot of homework.
3 hours?
Yeah. There's a lot of decisions to be made. And I'm very like, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And John's very like, no, let's think about it for a really long time. And I'm like,
and then not come to a conclusion. You're like, bro.
there's 50 shades of gray on the table, literally, of like colors to choose for all different things. And I'm not good at that kind of stuff.
No.
I'll just pick a random thing.
You are not
no, and
good.
remember,
You're like picking and done.
So my daughter got married in 2017.
Yeah. I actually bartended the wedding.
She did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, we needed somebody who was a licensed bartender.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that April once
You
upon a
have
time.
your TABC?
Yeah.
I've had
like,
that.
hey.
Mine just recently expired, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it was just really convenient. And then she brought a friend with her too. But that was such a daunting process. And from the beginning, I wanted to get a planner.
Yeah.
And Taylor was like, no, we don't need a planner. We can do it ourselves. And we could, and we did.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, so many lessons learned.
Would you hire a planner?
It was the dumbest decision ever because there are pictures in the wedding book at the end of the night when we have the sparklers and like the send off.
Yeah.
I have turquoise tennis shoes on with my black dress because we had to be out of the venue by midnight.
Yeah.
And the send off was like at 11:30. So by 11 o'clock, all that shit that we had brought in for this wedding had to get out by midnight.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I'm putting my tennis shoes on at 10:30 so that I can start packing things and getting stuff ready to go. And sure enough, I'm in the video
with tennis shoes on
and the pictures
No
with
big deal.
turquoise tennis shoes on, a ponytail. I mean,
ready to work.
not the way I want to be remembered on my daughter's wedding.
I'm sure there were hundreds of photos before that moment. Though.
There were.
There
it
was
was
a
also-
lot of things I would have done differently. Like she wanted these candid. She got a photographer who does like candid photos.
Cool.
So we didn't. Yes, but the classic and typical picture that you get with your mom and all that. I don't have that.
Yeah.
We didn't have that. She didn't want the family pictures with the mom, the dad, and the family. And we have a few where we were all after dancing got together on a staircase, but that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I paid for that mother trucker. I should have got the pictures.
Get the pictures that you want.
Yeah, it really did kind of bother me a little bit. And so now my youngest is getting married in a year. And I'm like, this time I'm getting what I want. Yeah.
This time it's all about me.
This time is, well, no. If I'm paying for this, I'm getting what I want, which is really pictures.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I want.
I know.
And it was really sad. It still bothers me, still, how many years later.
When you're... Because you were the planner, right? You were the facilitator of the entire event. So were you really having as much fun as you could have if there had been even just a day
the whole
person?
thing was a blur. The whole thing was a total blur.
Because you're working. You were working.
I was just making sure everybody was fed and everybody was happy and everybody had what they needed and we
Lots
were
of
out of there on
alcohol.
time.
Yeah.
And so doing it over, I think having staff to get us out of there. The decorating and getting things ready was fun, and I don't think anybody would have done that differently. Yeah. But getting out of there, I should not have been the one responsible for that.
No,
that's stressful.
You don't want to work on that day. Like you want to enjoy the day. And now you look back and you were working
the whole time.
I know.
Yeah, but I think it was beautiful. She has a very eclectic, kind of boho chic.
Cute
vibe, and the whole time we're picking things out, and even her wedding dress was just like a maxi dress, like a cream maxi dress with this like lace overlay thing.
Okay,
she did not want the traditional wedding dress.
Yeah,
every single thing she would pick out, I'm like, this is gonna look stupid. Like I said it in my head, I'm like, this is not gonna work. Like the whole time, I'm like, I'll pay for it. Here's the check, but I don't get it.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
You're like, this is not bridal.
It was
just not bridal. But it came out
so perfect. It was literally, and I'm not being biased, the most beautiful wedding I have ever been to. Yeah. And it was all because of this weird, eclectic
vision
combination of things that she just knew worked.
It's just unique to her, and I'm sure it was just such a great.
And it was so perfect. It was so much her.
We need to show you the picture when you leave. Like it was just so pretty.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought in a million years.
Yeah.
I remember she wanted these like the colors were what.
Rose gold and
something else I can't remember, some neutral kind of thing, but she picked out these like turquoise glass bowls that were going to go on the tables.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't see how that's going to work. And
You're like, I just don't see
perfect.
it.
It was perfect.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
It wasn't until the day that it was put together. And I'm like, oh okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, it works.
She knew what she was doing. All right.
I love that. See, I don't even know what I want for a wedding. Yeah. So I'm just like, let's just do the traditional. Like, so that's cool that she just knew exactly what she wanted.
Oh my God. And nothing was traditional. They walked down the aisle to, what's that group? Coldplay. Yeah. Coldplay, which now is so beautiful. Like at the time I was like, oh my God, my whole family's going to think we've lost it. But it worked out to be great. My
that's so
husband
sweet.
officiated
Oh, that's cool.
and had all kinds of goofy, fun stories to tell.
And a Game of Thrones story included.
And with Game of Thrones
funny.
thrown in there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many. Like, nothing in that wedding was traditional.
And it was awesome.
And it was
the
wonderful.
whole thing.
Yeah.
That's
It
so
was
cool.
amazing.
Not traditional at all. In fact, my grandparents were a little, like, wigged.
Were they?
Well, just like,
They're
this
like,
is
what?
so
Confused.
non-traditional.
This is so
What's
different.
happening?
Yeah. But it worked.
That's so funny. Well,
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
awesome.
Yeah, so you're totally
So cool.
traditional.
I think so. I mean, we're also modern. So I mean, the jewel's a little bit more modern. It's artsy, so it'll be a black tie. But yeah, I mean, the colors are like black, white, and I think light pink.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Do you have your dress
Simple.
picked out?
I do.
You have
Yep.
to show us.
I will.
Okay.
I love it.
Yay.
I love it.
I
Yeah,
love
I'm
dresses.
excited.
Yeah.
Is it like, does it, what do you call it when it's a straight dress? What's that style?
I don't know. A sheath?
Good question.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
is it like the princessy one or is it straight?
No, I did not want any like frou-frou. Like it's sleek. It's silk.
Yeah.
And it's I guess you call it trumpet style.
Oh, that's what I think. Yeah.
It's like
Or
fitted.
mermaid, yeah. Yeah.
And it's the bottom part isn't even that huge. Like it has like a little bit of flow, but
yeah.
I mean,
Oh my god, I
kinda
can't wait to
simple,
see it. I'm
sleek,
so excited.
silk.
Are your
Yeah.
parents excited? Do they like your man?
Yeah, they do.
That's good.
They do. They love him. So we're super excited.
Good. How many people are coming?
Probably 150-ish.
Yeah, that's average. Pretty good size.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
We don't
It'll
have
be
a
a good
huge
wedding.
family, so it's mostly friends and
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think
it'll
we had
make it that
almost
much better.
300 people. Remember that?
wow.
She's
That's
like, yeah, I was bartending. I remember.
expensive.
It was awesome though. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
That
where,
is
are you
fun.
guys going on a honeymoon or?
Yeah, we have to decide on that.
Love it.
Not really sure. We're looking at either Hawaii or we wanted to do Europe, but with the time change, I don't know. I just want to relax, and
Yeah.
I get a little stressed when I travel, like if it's that far, and so I feel like Hawaii will be a little bit easier to just like go and just sit and just chill.
Yes. Yes.
And then maybe we do like a European thing some other day. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Later, whatever.
That's where I'm at right
Before
now.
you have kids.
I might
yeah.
change my mind, but
Yeah. Who knows?
yeah.
So
So you're an
here's-
Aquarius.
Here's a question for you.
It's true.
I'm going to take it to another topic. So your blog.
Yes.
What is your most popular blog that you have put out there? So like you've had the most
Blog post.
interaction.
Most traffic.
traffic.
Well, I mean, to be totally honest, based on Google Analytics, it's one that's very old. It's a balayage post, balayage blonde gone wrong.
What is balayage?
Her hair.
My hair, so I had a really, really bad experience and I posted about it and then I posted how I fixed it. 'Cause the guy turned my hair like yellow and like I had like spots all over
So
my
balayage
hair.
is color?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like a blended blonde and brunette.
Okay.
So, but that's, for some reason, it's like, gets tons of hits from Google.
So apparently
and
that's a problem. Balayage is a problem for many people.
But aside from that, that's a really good question. I have not looked at my traffic in a while because I just put stuff up on the blog randomly. But I do a lot of polls where I ask the audience,
Sure.
what do you want to know about? Because I'm with you where you're like, well, what do we even like talk about? Like, what do
Yeah.
people care about? And so I get questions a lot about. I'm writing this right now about how to increase your income, how to make more money, growing in your
As in how to
career.
monetize like your blog or your social media or just in
Well,
general.
I think in general,
Okay.
I think not technically blog related, just in your career, like whether it's growing positions in your company, moving companies, starting your own company, like how can I make more money in general? I don't have just primarily bloggers that follow me. I have just a variety of women, and I focus on career but also fashion, so I've kind of got a mix. And then I also get questions about fashion related stuff, like how to pair certain outfits, how to find clothing that fits the right way,
Yeah.
because I've talked a lot about that
Yeah.
because I have an hourglass figure.
Yeah.
And I do follow a lot of bloggers, and they are always
Even just in the butt.
What did you come back as? I'm super obsessed with
I
this
was like
23andMe.
98% Northern European, I think is what it was. And it
Really?
was all Irish.
We're your family.
Yeah. Well, McClurg is my maiden name. I don't know if that has, I guess that kind of gives
that
a little
Irish?
bit of an, Scottish.
Oh yeah.
So, but it said like 48, 50%, something like that, Irish.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then now I can't remember.
That's-
Just English.
That's
English and
exactly what we are. Maybe the Irish have big butts. I don't know.
I don't know, but
because my mom is 60% Irish and she has a big old booty.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
what I say I get it from my mama.
British and Irish.
Yeah.
Is what I am.
That's
like
so
98%. And here's what else. This is funny too. For everybody out there, get your 23andMe. Do it now.
I need to do it.
Yeah.
I get it back, and it says that I have a first cousin that I don't know, and I'm like, this has to be one of my uncles. Who else could it be? So we start to create the conspiracy theory, right? And we've narrowed this down to one of my uncles had a child. No, this is all in our heads.
Okay.
One of my uncles has a child that he gave up for adoption, or he just didn't know about, or something. Like we have all these like fabricated ideas.
Yeah.
Anyway, come to find out, it's actually a cousin that's from where we're from, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like a second cousin registering as a first cousin on my deal. Well, that's the story. This is what everybody wants us to believe. I don't know.
This is what
I'm still
they
thinking
say.
that my theory is correct, but whatevs.
I love it.
Did you sign up for the health one too?
I did. I did the whole. Well, I got it for Christmas actually last year in 2018.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it until December 1st of 2019.
Oh my gosh.
So I got it back like a week after. I was actually with Courtney Baker having lunch with her when I got my
fun.
results back.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I have a cousin. One of my uncles had a kid.
Drama.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so
Scandalous.
So scandalous.
So you did the health thing? So what?
I did. I found out that I don't. It just gives you like indicators or what you're prone to, so to speak. And so like Parkinson's is not something that I'm likely to suffer from.
Okay.
Dementia, things like that. It just goes through the litany of things that you're genetically predisposed for.
Doesn't it also the 23andMe or maybe that's Ancestry DNA?
Yeah,
it tells you like when you're supposed to wake up or what
Yeah.
It does that. Yeah, it kind of gives you. It's just all kinds of indicators.
Does it did it like align with what you already
Yeah,
thought?
it did.
Yeah.
Even like flavors that I like and things like that. It says like you're more likely to like vanilla ice cream, and you're more likely to do dot. And
Interesting.
almost all of them align with me, which I thought was really incredible.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It is really
I think everybody should do it, and I really believe that within the next 10 years, it's going to be a standard practice for DNA to just be out there. So y'all, you're not going to be able to hide those kids for long.
I know. I got it for my fiance for
You
Christmas.
are the father.
he didn't want to. He didn't want to take it because he was nervous about his results being out there. I was like,
Really?
you know,
He's like the government.
I was like,
I
I really
know.
think we need to do it now that
But
you're
they really
freaked out.
do. They really do sell it.
So
I
you're
mean,
gonna
there's
do it.
proof
Yeah.
that there's proof that
Spit
23andMe
cup.
is selling those like your records or whatever.
Oh, for sure.
But-
Why wouldn't they?
I know, but I'm like, oh, okay. So,
But honestly, we've been giving our blood and everything and fingerprints and everything else to the government for years. So now we're going to worry about our spit? Like, really?
I don't know. I just don't really care. I mean,
The doctors take your blood all the time. I've given my fingerprints to the DMV. Like,
Yeah.
that's the
That's true.
government already.
do you know, I have friends that actually cover the little
Oh, for sure.
the
tape.
video thing on your camera or on your computer
Well,
because
I
they
mean-
think people can spy. Well, maybe they can, but you
No,
know what?
But they can.
Have you seen Snowden?
But I'm just not that interesting. So
I know,
like,
exactly.
I
Well,
really
and-
believe they're just moving on when they get to me.
That's how I feel too.
After the
sometimes.
podcast is over, I'll tell you a story because like it's not appropriate for this podcast. But
I thought all things were appropriate for the podcast.
do you want me to tell the story?
I think you should.
Okay, great. So I have a friend who was participating in some scandalous behavior, and they hacked his camera whilst participating in scandalous behavior. And then they blackmailed him.
Who, the feds or just
A
people?
random hacker, like they wanted money, and
Really?
We have stop. We're not recording for a second. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
Now we are.
it's
Sorry,
the
though.
government.
Sorry,
it's the government.
They heard
you
us.
guys, we were
They
talking
heard
about
me.
scandalous behavior and
Oh my God, I'm
people
scared.
hacking into videos, and
They're
our
hacking
our feed
All right, I
went
believe it
dead.
now.
It just
We're
went
done.
dead.
It's real.
And
It's
then it
real.
came back after we stopped talking about it.
That's weird.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
But yeah, it's real. Well, yeah. Okay,
That's
so
funny.
tell what time are we at?
50.
That's what I thought. So tell our listeners like where to find you, how to find your business, how to find your blog, like all the
Yes.
things about you, because we
Yeah.
want to promote you.
Awesome. So the blog, I'm on this pretty much every day. The Candid Millennial on Instagram and thecandidmillennial.com. I post blogs occasionally, and then our business page is Social Practice TX, and those are the two places I'm at.
Awesome. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Tell all things Big Girl Pants.
Big Girl Pants Pod on Instagram. Big Girl Pants, www.biggirlpantspodcast.com. Is it Big Girl Pants Podcast or
BigGirlPantsPod.com?
We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn.
Subscribe, y'all.
Give
us 5 stars.
Leave us a review.
I mean, even if you don't think we're great, you can just give us 5 stars because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions or any topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to send us an email or comment or DM on Instagram.
Yes, please. All right. So much fun. Thank you for being
here. So much for
Lots of good conversation.
I had a blast. That was so fun.
Yeah. All right, awesome. All right, everybody. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.